Welcome to the Explainer. We're going to talk about something that's, well, it's often kind of ignored until it's way too late, and that's your data storage. We're going to dig into why this conversation absolutely has to move out of the server room and straight into the boardroom.
You've probably heard that quote before, right? Data is the new oil. But the second part is what's really key for us today. Storage is your strategic reserve. It's what powers everything. We're going to unpack why thinking of storage as just an IT cost is, well, it's totally outdated. It's really a core asset that'll either supercharge your growth or become this huge anchor holding you back.
So, this really is the fundamental question you need to be asking yourself. Is your storage a genuine strategic asset, or is it actually a hidden liability, just waiting to cause problems? By the time we're done here, you're going to have the framework to answer that, and you'll know exactly what levers you can pull to make sure it's working for you, not against you.
Okay, so Section 1, the high cost of failure. Before we get into solutions, let's just be crystal clear about the stakes here. The amount of data we're dealing with it's mind-boggling. And the risks, if you get this wrong, they're getting bigger every single year.
Just look at this number, 220 zettabytes. That's what IDC says the world's going to generate by 2025. I mean, what even is a zettabyte? It's a trillion gigabytes. It's just an astronomical amount of data. And this data tsunami is creating massive, unprecedented challenges for literally every business out there.
And of course, with all that data comes huge risk. $1.2 million, according to IBM's latest report, that's the average cost of a single data breach. But here's the part that should really get your attention. In almost a quarter of those cases, poor storage security was a major factor. It's a direct link.
And it's not just about getting breached. It's about just being down, unavailable. For a large enterprise, downtime that's tied to storage problems can cost over $39 million a year in lost revenue and productivity. I mean, that's a brutal number. It really drives home just how critical resilience is.
Okay, Section 2, the modern storage toolkit. So, we've seen the risks, they're pretty scary. So how do we actually fight back? How do we build a strategy that wins? Well, it all starts with understanding the basic building blocks. Let's get into it. Look, you don't need to be a deep technologist, but you do need to get the three basic types. So, first up, you've got block storage. The best analogy is pallets in a warehouse. It's super fast, super efficient, and it's what you need for your heavy-duty databases. Then there's file storage. That's easy. It's just like your digital filing cabinet, perfect for everyday collaboration. And finally, you have object storage. Think of this like thousands of secure shipping containers, each with its own key. It's built for massive, massive scale, perfect for backups, archives, and all that data you need for AI. And here's the secret. The best companies, they're using all three together. All right, so after what kind of storage, the next big question is where it should live. On one hand, you've got on-premises. This gives you total control, maximum security, but it comes with a pretty hefty price tag up front. On the other hand, you have the cloud. It's incredibly elastic, you pay for what you use, but you gotta be careful because those costs can sneak up on you and spiral out of control if you're not watching closely.
And this is where the conversation has really changed. For years, people argued, should we be on-prem or in the cloud? Well, that's not really the right question anymore. The winning strategy today isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about a hybrid approach, one that smartly combines both. This way, you get the best of both worlds. You get that tight control where it's absolutely critical, and you get that awesome flexibility everywhere else.
All right, Section 3, winning with modern storage. So now we've got our toolkit. How do we actually use it to get ahead of the competition? Let's look at the three biggest trends right now where a smart storage strategy is making all the difference.
First up, intelligent automation. Let's be real, with the amount of data we're talking about, trying to manage it all by hand is just impossible. It's a losing game. So the winning move is using AI-driven systems that do the heavy lifting for you. We're talking about systems that automatically place data in the right spot, predict when a drive is about to fail, and constantly tune for performance. This is a game changer, and on average, it's cutting down management time by 40%.
The second big trend is a total mindset shift on security. We call it absolute cyber resilience. The old way was trying to build a perfect wall to keep attackers out. The new way assumes they will get in. So the focus shifts to how fast you can recover. The key here is using backups that are immutable,
meaning they're locked in, they cannot be changed or encrypted by anyone, not even by a sophisticated ransomware attack.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of what that looks like in the real world. A major global investment bank used these techniques and achieved what they call a sub-1-minute RPO and RTO. Now, what does that mean? It means their recovery point objective, how much data they could afford to lose, and their recovery time objective, how fast they could get back online, was less than 60 seconds. For their critical trading platforms, think about that. It turns a ransomware attack from a complete disaster into, well, just a blip, an operational hiccup you can handle.
And trend number 3, of course, is getting ready for AI. We're all talking about AI and generative AI, but here's the thing. These models are incredibly hungry for data. They need storage that can deliver data 10, maybe even 20 times faster than your old traditional systems. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter how much you spend on fancy AI computers. They'll just be sitting there, starving for data, and you'll have wasted a ton of money.
So, Section 4, your 2025 action plan. Okay, we've talked about the risks, the tools, the trends, but theory is one thing. What do you actually do? Let's boil this all down into a clear, straightforward plan that you can take back to your team.
It really comes down to these 4 steps. It's a simple roadmap. Step 1, assess. You have to know what you're working with right now. Get a real, honest look at your current storage. Step 2, align. Don't let storage be an IT-only decision. You have to connect your storage strategy directly to your biggest business goals. Step 3, modernize. This is where you bring in that automation and that absolute cyber resilience we talked about. And finally, step 4, enable. Build the powerful data platform that's going to fuel those big, game-changing initiatives, especially AI.
Okay, let's wrap this up. If you walk away with just a few key ideas, make them these 4. First, storage is not an IT cost. It is a strategic asset, period. Second, that fragmented approach is over. A unified hybrid model is the future. Third, designing for security from day one is simply non-negotiable anymore. And fourth, with the scale we're facing, automation isn't a nice-to-have, it's an absolute must.
So, I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Your competition, they are weaponizing their data. They're using it to move faster, get smarter, and win customers. In this kind of environment, a modern storage strategy isn't just a defensive shield. It's an offensive weapon. And the question you have to ask is yours ready for the fight?